Hello everyone, Vicki Achard here with Nature's Best Art. Thank you for joining me today. If this is the first time you are in my craft room, welcome. If you've never been here before. This is where I create cards and I make sentiments for the cards. I do my watercolor paintings and I work on my projects and I make products. I also create in what I call my studio. There I work on my pressed floral work, and Tom does our matting and framing. So I'm so excited to make this video today. I want to tell you how I reduced my cholesterol numbers, lost 57 pounds, and dropped 5 pant sizes. I used to weigh 192 pounds, and now I'm 135. I was wearing size 22 pants, and now I'm wearing size 12. So 57 pounds. I feel so much better. It took me a long time. I learned a lot though along the way, and I want to share that all with you. I'm going to be dividing this information into 3 videos. Today, I'd like to talk about my cholesterol numbers and how I dropped those significantly and what medicines have helped me, and a little bit about why I wanted to drop those numbers. The second video, I will show you the foods that I eat, and the third video, I will show you the exercises I do for a total body workout. Losing my mom at age 5, she was 43. And my dad at age 12, he was 51, and brother, he was 54. He died the year after 9/11, so that was 2002, I believe. And almost my other brother, all from a heart attack. It's been very important to me to get my numbers down. At first, in about 1987, when a doctor told me, you better look seriously at your cholesterol numbers. I didn't want to. I didn't want to think about it because it reminded me of my mom and dad, and I just didn't want to think about it, you know. In fact, oh, that's my birdie clock. In fact, I was actually denying the fact that my numbers were totally out of control. The records I have kept of my numbers one time in 1991, and then I started up again in 97, then in 99. Then it looks like I got regular blood work done since 2002. My numbers were still very high for a long time until about 2013, where I see a significant drop. I did learn, however, how to drop my triglycerides in 2007. I've said that word many times. I don't know why I flubbed it up this time. Triglycerides. Anyway, I dropped them. Guess how many points? You're not going to believe it. 102 points. This is going to sound very hard, but if your triglycerides are high, you'll want to do this. I'm going to break this to you gently. I wish someone told me about this long ago. I had a doctor appointment and they detected my sugar levels were high. I said, okay, I am not getting diabetes like my I call my younger brother, he's 4 years older than I am. And then I have another brother, 11 years older, but my younger brother who died at 54, he got diabetes, and I did not want to get diabetes because I saw him lose his one leg because of that. And I thought, you know what, this is not happening to me. My numbers are high. I'm going to do something about it. And you know, my glucose numbers. So I thought, okay, I had heard dark chocolate is great for you. And it even reduces cholesterol because I really did like sugar a lot. But maybe I can just eat dark chocolate. So I went to the health food store and bought myself a dark chocolate candy bar. I thought I'll have 1 piece of it a day. I was driving in the car. And before I got home, the entire bar was gone. It was eaten. I ate it. I thought, you know, this is crazy. I'm never going to eat sugar again. And from that day on, I have not. And I'm loving a lot of different foods, of which when these 3 videos are completed, I will show you some of the very good recipes that I have, some that Tom and I, my husband and I, have made up also, that are absolutely delicious. I don't need the sugar anymore, and I have never eaten sugar. Yay! So, I never crave sweets. So my insulin numbers are on the lower side, but I still need to watch them. With food and exercise, I keep them down. Very important point. Know your numbers. I'd like to tell you one thing I didn't know about those high cholesterol numbers that I just learned 6 years ago. The doctor I see now, his name is Dr. Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E, in Troy, Michigan, suggested I get a CT scan. It can detect calcium in the arteries, which isn't a good thing because calcium hardens, and chances are you may have plaque in the arteries. So your number should be 0. Mine, unfortunately, is 1,482. I once read that someone had over 1,700 number, and he couldn't really function in his daily life. So I'm telling you this just in case you didn't know about this. It's so important to lose that cholesterol number. So in my mind, it's not just so you need to reduce cholesterol numbers to keep your heart healthy. But I think if I had kept them down years ago, I wouldn't have such a high calcium number, which is only reversible, or maybe it's not even reversible. I haven't really looked into it. I'm kind of denying the fact. I don't want to, look into it, but I probably should. But I think it's reversible by them doing their rototillering, in the arteries. It sounds, quite invasive to me. And it doesn't sound like something I would like to have done. But who knows? I may have to one day. Right now, I'm feeling terrific, actually. I only wish that I would have seriously ate better and exercised like I have been for the past 15 years. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I could have done that many years ago, since a doctor, I was seeing long ago in 1998 had told me to seriously look at those numbers. So just a little bit about my numbers. In 1991, my total cholesterol number was 290. And I see after that, sometimes it was 300 or 400, and at times lower. My last total cholesterol number was 172. They say that below 200 is good. LDLs are the bad cholesterol. My number used to run anywhere between 151 to 296. It is now running 76 to 132. This number for most people should be less than 120, but for me, because I have such a high calcium number, the doctors want it to be 70. Do you know how hard that is to keep that down to 70? I gotta be really good, really exercise, make sure, but just I hope you're good too and you're eating and you're exercising, because if you have that high calcium number, you gotta really watch it. So I did manage one time to get it down, my LDLs, to 76. But the last blood work that I had, that was 4 months ago, it was 97. So how else have I gotten this number down besides not eating any sugar? I have become a vegan. Well, once a week I do eat salmon. Love salmon. That's the only fish I eat. So some people don't consider that a vegan. I, however, don't eat any meat or any dairy products ever. Ever. I even gave up turkey for Thanksgiving. It took me 4 years to give up turkey, but I did it. And I exercise most days, and I walk mostly 6 times a week for 40 minutes. I want to tell you something very important, and that is something Dr. Doyle said to me. He didn't say, well, you really need to walk and you really need to exercise. You really do need to walk. But he said this exactly. If you walk 6 times a week for 30 minutes at a time, and if you have a heart attack, you will be more likely to survive it. Say, what? I thought, okay, you have convinced me. It like put, it rang a bell, right? It really connected with what I was needing to do, right? So that, in my opinion, is why my oldest brother survived his heart attack. He has been a golfer all his life, and he always tells me that he walks every day, rain or shine. He's 11 years older than I am. The doctors told him it was a miracle he survived because I believe one artery, I think he said, was 100% blocked, and 2 arteries were 80% blocked. And he was also standing next to a nurse when he had the heart attack, and she revived him right away. Now, since COVID last March, I had to give up going to the fitness center that I've been going to regularly for the last 15 years. But before that, some years before, I had started to also exercise in my home due to sometimes the icy weather in Michigan. So when COVID hit, I decided to do my routine at home and continued that. So that will be in my 3rd video, showing you my total body workout that I just absolutely love. I made up some of the exercises myself, and I feel wonderful after I do them. So I'm really excited to show you that too. Now, I also had to stop walking on the treadmill at the fitness center, so I started walking outdoors with my husband Tom. Since COVID, I couldn't go to the fitness center. He walked many years outside. He never went to the fitness center, but he walks outside. So every day we take a walk, a 40-minute walk, and I absolutely love it. And I think I will continue walking with him, even when it is safe to go to the fitness center again. Just a minute, I'm gonna get some tea. This is, excuse me, my herb tea with orange spices. I have to tell you something though. So maybe, if you've gone to the fitness center or you walk on a treadmill and you decide to take walks outside. When I first started walking on the sidewalk with him, within a week I had to stop walking and give my feet a rest for about 2 weeks because my feet hurt. My doctor called that something, and I can't remember what he said, but my feet had to get used to the pavement. So after 2 weeks, I was able to walk again and take that 40-minute walk that we do every day now. Now I'd like to share the chart that I've used to keep my numbers. And when I show you this chart, you can pause the video and copy it. It's been very useful, okay? This is the date where I go to get my blood work. The total cholesterol, that arrow there means less than 200 is good, and there are those other numbers. It'll tell you, if you're borderline or high. Triglycerides should be under 150. The LDLs, they say that your border 130 to 159, near op is 100 to 129. I did hear 120 and below is good. The HDLs, now we haven't talked about those. Those are the numbers that are good numbers. And how I've increased those is have stuff with olive oil in it instead of like coconut oil or palm oil. Palm oil is the worst, actually. Coconut oil is not good either. I did ask Dr. Doyle about that. And so what you need to do for your HDLs is read labels when you buy your products, at the store, your canned goods and your packaged goods. Make sure they don't have any of that, those kind of oils in it. And then, of course, exercise helps, I believe, with that. Now, the ratio, the HDL total, I'm not quite sure what that is, but mine have been okay. So, you know, I'm not concerned with that too much. The LDL particle number also, a lot of doctors don't take this number, but Dr. Doyle does. And he says this is a very important number, and they want mine below 700 since I got that high calcium number. But anything 1,000 and lower is good. And I'm not quite sure what this means either. It's made up of a lot of different things. And oh, there's my birdie clock again. Yes, an hour has passed. I took a break, so. But anyway, but this number is important. And then your CRPHS. I don't think a lot of doctors take this. Maybe they do. But that is your risk of having, you know, a cardiovascular disease. And my risk is low. So I am, you know, not worried about that. But I'm glad it's low. But it'll tell you stuff like, you know, inflammation and, you know, maybe, I don't know what else, but I guess if you have, you know, developed plaque in your arteries, perhaps, maybe not. I'm not sure about that, but mine is low, so I don't worry about that. And then I do make sure I know my glucose number, and I like to know my blood pressure, you know, what it was in the doctor's office, and then what it is at home. I have a blood pressure cuff at home, and I'm always lower at home, of course. So, and then any notes, like if my medicines have changed, anything the doctor tells me, whatever, any questions I have or whatever, I put that there. So this has been really, really helpful. And, you know, my husband made this up for me, so really glad he did that. So let me turn the camera up again, and now we will talk about, there I am, we will talk about the medications. Okay, so let me show you what I have this pack here that I always have on the counter, and all my medicines are in here. And it's just really a convenient place to put my medications. I don't always have to open a cupboard or whatever. And I take this traveling too, whenever I travel. So the first medication that I take, and what I will do in the next week's video, I hope to get it up next week, is when I show you the foods that I eat, I'll show you when I take this medication, because it's mostly with the foods that I eat. But so this is Welcall. I take Welcall, and like I want to let you know too, before I talk about these medications, is that you know, I am no doctor, and I'm just sharing with you my fitness journey. And you know, I just want you to know how numbers are so very important. I know that it's important to know your numbers and what they mean. And but please check with your doctor about, you know, your questions that you have, things that could help you. You know, perhaps he doesn't want you to exercise at this time, or maybe he doesn't want you to eat the foods that I will show you what I eat next week. Remember, this is, you know, my fitness journey. Okay, I just want you to remember that. So so anyway, so the Welcall tablets I take are actually 6 tablets a day, and it comes out to 625 milligrams. I take 3 in the morning and 3 at night. And so along with that, I take this COQ10. Now, a couple years ago, Dr. Doyle said, you know, he's a lipid specialist. He's has his master's degree in nutrition. And he goes to a lot of seminars, he does research and all that. He did say that a couple years ago, they found out that these don't do anything for you. He says, so, you know, he took them, and he didn't want to take them anymore because they were so expensive, and they are expensive. You know, I buy them at Kroger, I buy them at my daughter gets them for me at Costco. But anyway, or Amazon has them. But I take them because I think they do help me. And I told him that, and he says, well, then take them. So anyway, I take 200 twice a day. So I take 400 milligrams because I want to tell you something about this medicine here. Lipitor is a statin medicine, right? Now I take 20 milligrams of that a day. And I want to tell you this. Long ago, when I had this high cholesterol, the doctors, my family doctor, started giving me 80 milligrams of cholesterol. Well, now I had heard that it's against the law to give anyone 80 milligrams of wait, did I say? Well, anyway, a statin medicine. Lipitor is your statin, Crestor, and Zocor. So I was taking 80 milligrams of Lipitor, which is a statin, and it wasn't working. And he told me, and what I got was muscle weakness. These will cause muscle weakness if you take too much. I'm taking 20 now, which is just fine. The 20 milligrams does not cause the muscle weakness. But I had I just want to let you know that I was a women's ministry team leader for a church for 3 years, and I thought, I had this muscle weakness. I couldn't get up off the couch. I couldn't, when I garden, I would bend down and I couldn't get up. So this went on for 3 years, and I want to tell you this because I felt like I was so busy. You get so busy and you think, oh, I can't do anything about this now. But I thought, well, when I get done with this ministry, which I was the team leader for 3 years, I thought, I'm going to find out about this. So they right away took me off the 80 milligrams and dropped that down, and I was okay. But so watch for that. If you get if you can't stand up, or something happens like that, tell your doctor, okay? And that is when my family doctor said, Vicki, he says, I don't know what else to do for you. Did a doctor ever tell you that? It was the scariest thing. And I thought, okay. He says, I want you to see a doctor that I've heard about, Dr. Doyle. And he might, be able to help you. He says, because I was getting some cramps in my legs. Did you ever get the cramps in your legs from the statin medicines? It's just the worst thing, And anyway, so I says, I am not going to see that Dr. Doyle. I says, I think he's going to just tell me to eat fish oil or something. And so so I didn't go to him for a while. I kept going to my family doctor. And so, I did go to Dr. Doyle, and he did recommend fish oil. Well, you can get the tablets or whatever. I looked around. I love this stuff. It doesn't taste like fish at all. It's, it tastes lemony, and it's Barleans, and, lots of omega-3. Yay! I take a tablespoon of this a day, and I'll show you that next week, how I do that, and what I take it with. And this is good stuff for you. So, anyway, I wanted to show you that. And the other thing I wanted to show you was, well, let me show you the 2 other medicines I take for cholesterol, and then I'll show you this because I want to talk a little bit about this. Okay, so now I take, let's see. Okay, I showed you the well call. All right, the Lipitor. Oh, the one other cholesterol medicine. I have a few other medicines that are not cholesterol medicines in here, but so anyway, so this is I call it Zetia. Some people call it Zetia. I think it's Zetia. But this is like the generic EZETIMIBE, 10 milligrams. This is good stuff. This will reduce your cholesterol, good percentage of it, I believe. Now, I forgot about this, what I wanted to talk about this, but I just remembered. There's a drug called Repatha now that you can give yourself a shot like every 2 weeks, and it goes right to I don't think it affects the liver or kidneys or anything, but, and it goes, right to the heart of, that cholesterol problem, and it really, really reduces your cholesterol lower. But I told the doctor, I don't think I want to give a shot to myself every 2 weeks for the rest of my life. I don't know. Maybe one day, I don't know. But and then there's this other medicine that I want to tell you about. It's called Lavola. My family doctor, did try this after, I had that incident with the muscle weakness. It's called Lavola, and you're supposed to take it every other day. Well, at that time, I was really eating badly, and it was during Christmas time. I thought, maybe if I take this medicine every day during Christmas, it'll reduce my cholesterol. I won't have to worry about eating bad too much, during the Christmas time. And I tell you, I had a huge bad reaction to this, the worst ever. I had to sit on that my chair and and then raise my foot for 2 weeks. I felt like I had like a piece of wood hanging from my leg. It was like real heavy feeling. I had to put ice packs on it. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that I did have a reaction. Now I did something that you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to have it every other day. I had it, during the Christmas time every day, which I shouldn't have done. But anyway, I'll never take that medicine again. And still to this day, on my left leg, when I do my exercises, I can feel it. It's heavier. So you got to watch it with this medicine and check with your doctor to see, what you can take, what's working, what's not. Get off of it if it's you have a reaction. Of course you know that. And get your blood work every 6 months for sure. Right now Dr. Doyle is taking my blood work every 4 months. We're trying to work with another medication that didn't work for me. In fact, I have an appointment with him in a couple weeks. I just had my blood work done the other day, and it was Crestor, and I couldn't take it because he wanted to see if this would help rather than the Lipitor. He wanted to get my LDLs down a little further. And it was the Crestor, and oh man, I had the worst cramps, and I had 4 huge bad cramps. It was just horrible. So I got off of it, right away. And so, you just have to do those type of things just to see what works for you, okay? And but okay, so I told you the 3. So I take Welchol, Zetia, and Lipitor. I take fish oil. I take CoQ10. One thing I have discovered, I believe in this wholeheartedly. Like, check with your doctor what they think. It is this. It is the Raw Probiotics Ultimate Care 100 billion. 100 billion. Okay. Quite expensive. I used to get it at the health food store before the COVID, but now since we can't go to the stores, I ordered online. It is supposed to be refrigerated. You refrigerate it. This is what it looks like, out of the box. And I started taking this, and I saw a drop in my LDLs. I honestly did. So and then we I don't read Reader's Digest, but my husband does sometimes, and so I haven't seen it on the desk lately, but maybe he stopped that. But anyway, I read an article about doctors who do something, what they do to reduce their cholesterol. I just happened to pick it up one day when I was sitting on our couch. And one of them said he takes probiotics. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I thought that these probiotics were reducing my cholesterol too, but I really wasn't sure. So I asked my 3 doctors. I asked my cardiologist. I asked Dr. Doyle, the lipid specialist, and I asked my family doctor. Two of my doctors said, well, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's proven. They don't know if it's proven, which maybe they don't. It's probably not. But my cardiologist said, it could be. It could be because it works in the gut. Your probiotics works in the gut. And I did talk to my urologist that I see, about this particular probiotic. I said, I think it's just doing wonders for me, really. And she had mentioned that her husband was taking a probiotic and really it wasn't working well. And she says, and no two probiotics work the same. And she wanted to know which one this was. So, you know, like I say, your doctor may not even want you to take a probiotic. I take it every day. But it's working for me now. I don't know if it'll. I think I've taken it maybe about a year now, a year and a half, and I've had no side effects, or anything like that. But I think it helps. I really do. So anyway. So, well, let's see. Where am I at? Okay, before I go, I want to share a few thoughts. I actually just posted a comment to someone losing my mom and dad and brother to heart disease, and I don't ever post that, but this person was, you know, I know that I've heard him say this before, that he just doesn't know how he would deal with it if, like, you know, 10 of his loved ones, you know, he can think of 10 people that he would not want to have pass, you know. So I just felt a need to reach out a little bit to this person, and I told him, you know, it was tough losing my loved ones. It really was. But what it taught me was to savor each moment, be curious, and learn, you know, things. I'm very curious about a lot of things. I want to know the truth, you know. I want to know why and how and when and how to do this and how to do that. And that's just such a wonderful thing. I just love reading, you know, and you know, getting and doing stuff like that. But anyway, and trusting God, being active, creating, and living life to the fullest. And that has kept me going. I have a wonderful family, a wonderful husband, 4 wonderful children, and 7 grandchildren, and I'm a great-grandma now too. So I just love my life, you know. And so, but it was tough. It's really tough. So so that wraps up my first video of my fitness journey, so I hope that that I've encouraged you in some way, and encourage you to lower your numbers if they are high, and remember to check with your doctor. And stay tuned for the number 2 video that I want to show, hopefully next week. And so I'll show you all the foods that I eat and love, and how I have kept my numbers down in that way. Okay, and you know. That way, there's exercising, eating the right foods, all those things. So until next time, happy health to all of you.